What's going on, good people? Welcome back. I'm Trayvon Miles.
And I'm Jeff Harris, and this is the Delmarva Sports Insider. Took it right out of your mouth, Trey.
That's right. We've got a big show coming up. Forgive my frightfulness right now. So without further ado, let's get right into it. Ladies and gentlemen, high school football is back. We opened up play in the great state of Maryland, and of course, we've got all your highlights.
Yeah, Trey, and still to come, cuts are being made all across the NFL. Find out who made some of your favorite teams a bit later on in the show.
And some of your favorite teams. Yeah. And we're rolling out some of our volleyball previews tonight. Easton and Delm are hooking up and hoping to get their squads set for the upcoming season. Can you dig it? Of course, that's right. And welcome to the Delmarva Sports Insider. Of course, you know it's the only show on the shore here giving you all you can handle in high school sports. We got a lot to get to.
Yep.
But of course, we began in Salisbury, North Carolina, a football team we previewed up and down and said they are poised and prime to make a run this season.
And had their coach on the coach's show as well, James.
Yes, that's
McCormick.
exactly right. Another coach we got on the coach's show is High's coach Brian Hansen. He's got a young team, and all they could do last night really is look to make a run at an upset. And I think it was a tall task for the Tribe.
Yeah, you could say that.
But early on, they really looked up to the challenge. First quarter, North Carolina trying to run to the right side. The young Tribe stuffs that play. Nice gang tackling right there. But the Indians got a nice dose of this guy, David Bailey Jr., looking like a man amongst boys. Bailey takes the pitch and stretches for the touchdown. A little bit later, check out the misdirection toss. Look at this, 235 pounds of grown man running at you. High school, get off of me. And that's the reason he's going to Boston College. And a little bit later, North High just opened it up. When it's going good, it's going pretty great. Yes, Cody Pepper taking out a broken down play and finds Joey Bildstein for 32 yards, and he is into the end zone. NC did not play great, but Coach Mack will take a road shutout. The Dogs win this game by a final of 44-0. But like I said, I really feel like North Carolina did not play great by all intents and purposes. I think their coaching staff will say that they did not play as good as they wanted to. With the score being 30-0 at half, I saw some of their coaches dogging some of their players out like, hey, we can be a lot better than what we did in this game. But on the other flip side, honestly, I got to be honest, High looked all out of sorts.
Right.
They had about, I'd say, 6 or 7 illegal procedure penalties, 12 men on the field, 10 men on the field. It just looked, from what I saw out there on the sideline, it really looked bad. And I really hope that they can get it together. Because like I was telling some of the players last night, Decatur, I think, is a winnable game for these guys. So you lose to North Carolina, but, you got Decatur coming up and you got Colonel Richardson coming up. You never know what'll happen.
And something that kind of, may not speak or may not, even be an excuse as to, maybe why they came in a little lackadaisical is, because maybe they did look at High and kind of say, hey, listen, we're going to push them over, so we're not going to play as well. They had had the entire summer off, actually the entire year, before they're playing organized football again. So, not to make excuses for them, but they're jumping back in.
I'll tell you what, they better not do that with one team coming to town, that's Parkside.
Yeah, that's true, and we're going to get to them in a little bit. But last night, Trey, also featured some of the powerhouses within the Bayside, including Kent Island, also North Carolina. But they played host to Snow Hill last night. KI coming out of the gate, fired up and ready to go. Yeah, they are good. They put on quite the show. Transfer Trent Jackson. Check this guy out. Check the arm strength. Flick of the wrist.
Yeah, that was a little
He sends one to Sean Mooney, who would be forced out of bounds right at the 1-yard line. He stretches.
Oh, that was a touchdown. Come on, Ralph.
I don't know. It looked like his right knee was down.
Be a hero, Ralph.
Yeah, but no such luck. Very next play, though, we're going to see a 1-yard carry for the score.
Dylan Finley right there.
Dylan Finley, right up the middle, able to score there for KI. Then towards the end of the first, we're going to see another transfer tray. Jordan Walker breaks free, pretty much untouched for the 21-yard scamper. This team is dangerous. Kent Island cruises to a win over Snow Hill in week 1. Again, another shutout, 50-0 in Trey.
Good grief.
Impressive showing by Kent Island. I mean, first of all, they looked ready to play. So you're saying that, North Carolina, one of those powerhouses in the Bayside, seemed maybe a little bit more laid back. They thought maybe they could just roll over High, which they did by the score of all intents and purposes. Kent Island, very well put together.
Are you telling me that Kent Island was prepared to play a football game last night?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
That's all they ever are, and I'm really impressed by those transfers. Those 3 guys, man, it's an amazing story. We talked about the story off camera, but those 3 guys living in Kent Island the whole time, and now they are at Kent Island playing football. That is an amazing.
Didn't even know they were in Kent Island.
Yeah, that is an amazing story. And for these guys to be here and fall into a great football team.
Right.
How lucky is that?
Match made in heaven.
That's exactly right. All right, one more interesting matchups last night was Queen Anne's hosting Cambridge. Two teams both expected to make playoff runs, squaring off in the Lions' Den last night. A matchup of two of my top 5 teams. A big crowd there in Centerville to check it out. And look at Jeff Harris with that nice camera work right there. Got to give it up to you. Bravo. Right before the half,
Trey. All right.
Queen Anne's adds to their 7-0 lead. As you can see, the misdirection there threw Jeff off a little bit. But Anthony Jeffrey is in for the touchdown. Queen Anne's up 14-0 at halftime. Second half, Lions still clawing away. Chris Crow getting a pitch, and he carries the ball into the Cambridge red zone. And then check this guy
right
out.
here.
Hassan Biggis. This guy is a new name that I have not heard before. So, and he is pretty good as well. He's able to bounce it outside for the score as Queen Anne's takes it by a final of 28-0.
Now, Trey, Bennett also in action visiting Colonel Richardson last night. First drive for Colonel. We saw him on DSI a few months ago. Jake Zebron rolls out to the left, throws it deep, intended for Darren Speller, but Jaron Long is there to pick it off. Then we're going to fast forward to the second, 4th and 2, as Zebron drops back, but Ian Hosington breaks through the line for the sack to force another turnover. Bennett's defense on point all night long. They would have possession now on their own 48, and watch as Joey Blake dumps it off to Jaron Long. He takes it down to the 20-yard line, gets knocked out of bounds, and 2 drives later. Time actually going to be running out in the half, but Blake, he's going to hit Taki Davis. Right there, nice catch. 17-yard touchdown. Clippers win a close one, 10-8 over Richardson.
Well, the only non-shutout was that game right there, because here's another shutout. Taking things back down near the beach. How about the fellows of Stephen Decatur? They get a home shutout in the opener over Arcadia. And Coach Bob Knox, first game back since he took off last season, of course, to be with his family. The Hawks already matched last year's win total with last night's victory. And, of course, I speak for everyone, I'd say, involved here and with Bayside football when I say, Coach Knox, it is very good, and we are very glad to have you back.
And rounding out some of our games last night, Washington traveled to Easton to take on the Warriors. Time running out in the first half. Easton already leading big in this one, and Connor Butler hits the hole and scampers for 25 yards down to the 10-yard line inside the red zone. A few plays later, Mason Ledford with a pass just off the fingertips of the receiver and into the arms of Washington safety Maurice Burgess. That would end the half there for Easton. Now to the second half. And on the first drive, Ledford rolling out, and he's going to hit Brandon Booz for the 60-yard touchdown pass. Got behind the cornerback there. Easton's defense would actually proceed to shut it down in this one. They really carried it for Easton last night. We're going to see Eric Ballard's pass over the middle is going to be picked off. Trey Banks coming up with the interception for Easton. Strong showing by the Warriors as they come away with a 57-0 shutout to open up the season, Trey.
Hey, if your name is Trey, you got to make plays, man. So shout out to my man Trey Banks there in Talbot County. All right, that brings us to the matchup that was today. Parkside's been a team that's been knocking on the door. We've always been saying it for the last 3 years, trying to get into the playoffs, while Kent County has a 4-year playoff streak going. That was the matchup this afternoon here in Salisbury. Now, a lot of Kent's streak was due to everything running back Marquand Green. Only problem, he ain't walking through that door. He's at Wesley now, so Kent having to figure it out early. And early, they could not figure things out. Niall Oji gets in from 6 yards out for his first touchdown of the season. The Rams had it going on the ground a little bit later. Parkside running the rock again. This time it's number 25, Josh Todd. He is lowering the boom, and he, too, is getting into the end zone. They took advantage of a short field that Kent kept giving them. 21-0 at halftime. Check out this run right here. Destin Richardson, he's lowering the boom as well. Destin might be 65 pounds, and he's running people over. And one more time, Niall Oji, do not get in the way because he will knock you out of the hole. Parkside wins it 42-0. The Rams now set up for a matchup with North Carolina next weekend in Ridgely.
They were clicking. They've been clicking all week, actually, and it was kind of cool. Me and the offensive line coach were talking on Thursday, and I was like, man, we're really clicking right now. So they definitely were focused. They definitely had really great reps throughout the week, and I thought that set them up for today because they went out and really did a nice job. I mean, North Carolina's well coached, man. They got a great coaching staff. They got great kids. Bailey's definitely, I mean, he's a big back and runs well. Came out here and watched him last night. He did his thing. So, we gotta get on the film train, see what we can do, and just get lined up and get our alignment straight, and then from there, really just get physical. I think that's what the key to that whole mentality is going to be, is just get after it.
Hey, Parkside looked good. What can I say? North Carolina looked good yesterday. That gets me uberly excited for the matchup next weekend in Ridgely. Parkside versus North Carolina, 2 teams in my top 5. Who do you think's going to win that game, Jeff?
Who do I think based off of this past week?
Yep.
I mean, I might give it to Parkside just based off of what they were able to do.
I want to pick the Rams,
on the
but I think
ground.
I'm going to hold off on that a little bit. But by all intents and purposes.
Well, I know you already
North
said I'm
Carolina.
the one getting sent out to that game, so
you're going to be up
we're
there,
gonna have some
man.
live tweets.
That's going to be
Keeping
a
people
great,
updated.
great matchup. Yeah, follow him, G. Harris. All right, we're hitting our first commercial break, but coming up, football, not the only sport going on. We take it to the pitch when DSI returns.
Head coach Brendan Ireton, Kent County Trojans. You're watching Delmarva Sports Insider.